Okay, hello. I am Amoeba, and joining me for our very final thing on this PSRM is TiKevin83.
Hello,
Hello, my friend.
everyone.
Hopefully you can hear us. Please tell me you can hear us. Be very sad if you can't. And yeah, this is going to be our outro show. We are done with another marathon. This is number 5 now, Ty?
I think 6. Yeah,
2015.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was 2015, and I couldn't count to 6. It is very late here. I'm so sorry.
No worries. It is. Yeah, this is the 6th Pokemon speedrunning marathon we've done. The 2020 marathon has concluded with an incredible race. Why don't we just talk about the conclusion to that race again, quick here, before moving on to the rest of what happened this last weekend?
I couldn't actually contain my excitement at like the point where the Elite Four started. I was losing my mind, and then like it's such a almost Cinderella story that Huanli spent 90% of the run behind, and that
Yeah.
solid Elite Four just nails the finish for him. It was so good.
Yeah. So what happened going in was Pokeguy and Huangbro were in a tight. Actually, no, I think it was Pokeguy and Enderborn were in a tight race for first place, but both Pokeguy and Ender died on Agatha without having saved, and Ender had a more recent save than Pokeguy, so Ender was able to come back to a third place by recovering from Lorelei again. So basically, going back 2 whole Elite Four battles. Pokeguy had to go back and buy more items because he hadn't saved at all and had to actually like just continue with his current experience, the higher experience. Then Huangbro was in a bad situation from having fought an optional in Blaine's gym and had suddenly then shot into the lead with Juan slightly behind. But then in the end, the optional extra experience caught up to Huangbro, and he ended up losing by a few seconds to Juan because he had to do some extra backup strats to counteract the missed breakpoints with badge boosts. And Juan ended up winning by 8 seconds.
Just by having he had the cleanest setup going into the Elite Four, effectively.
Yep.
Apart from maybe Pokeguy, who then opted to not save. A bold choice.
Yes. Bold risks coming from the top runners trying to get that win, and it all came down to the slow and steady safe play from Juan, who recovered from an early miss of the YOLO ball.
Yeah, it was a hell of a race. I mean, you can't ask for anything better to finish a marathon on, really.
Yeah.
You had the best yellow runners going, the tightest competition, and the most brutal finish, which I'm sure most of them are steaming about, other than Huanli, who's going to take that to the bank.
Oh, yeah. No more chicken for Wanley.
Huanli is a brave boy now. 97% to not die to Agatha there, and yet 2 of you died. Welcome to Pokemon runs.
Well, it's the Murphy's Law Pokemon Yellow, so 3% to die means you're going to die, right?
I mean, we talk about Murphy's Law. How much did we actually end up behind overall in this marathon? 30 minutes?
we
Blimey.
had an
15
absolute
of that was me. Half of
Yeah.
that's my fault.
We had quite the back and forth, the schedule running all over the place. With JT Magic Man had that crash in Pokemon Soul Silver on Sunday morning, which
Oh,
set
that
us
was
back.
last year.
With Cruel then actually bringing the marathon back in line by getting a PB in Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time in the marathon.
I feel like we've said this every year, but we actually did not jump about off schedule too much. I think at worst we were an hour off, but it's Pokemon. That's doing pretty well. People clearly know the runs that they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Know their strats to the marathon. Yeah, everybody did a great job. I haven't seen every run, admittedly, but even the runs I haven't seen, I've heard
Yeah.
other people say went really well. I need to go back and watch all of the ROM hack runs
Yeah, we'll
because I
have to
really wanted
fill
to see them
in
all, but they were all like 5 a.m. in the morning for me. So.
We'll have to fill in each other's knowledge here on the outro show. Do you remember who won the storied 4-way race with Sinstar Crafted, Skoa, and Cosmo? That black race?
Yes, Sinstar led the entire thing,
It was
and
incredible.
it became quite close at the end due to some silly, I think, Gets fight. I'm stretching a bit here. My brain is people are pointing out it's 5 a.m. My brain is firing on about 3 cylinders.
Okay.
But
So
yes,
I won't press you too hard there, but we had Sinstar winning the black race
the
after.
Lilliput routes were both doing much better than the Tepic routes, which is sort of expected, and it was a good demonstration of why this new route is so powerful.
Awesome.
But yeah.
So that was after an opener from Smurfy doing Blue Catch 'em All and the 4th Gen Gamers Empoleon alt main trade route. And
Oh,
then,
those were excellent.
oh,
I remember
oh
both of
yeah,
them. I was monumentally impressed with the Catch 'em All run because I know I'm too small brain to understand it in general, and it was explained so well. Like Smurfy knew exactly what he was talking about, and then he had etiquette to back him up
it was
on
awesome.
commentary. That was really good. And this was 4th Gen Gamers' first PSR marathon. There was quite a lot of that. A lot of runners with that first marathon. Well, not necessarily first marathon overall, but first PSR appearance.
And it was the
Dropping it with
debut of
hot
the
runs.
category extensions in the PSR
Yeah,
marathons.
which is well deserved. I'm loving alt mains. I love watching people push new and interesting routes. So we're not just sitting on the same routes in the same game all the time. Nothing wrong with that, but it's nice to have some variety.
Tazmaster, if you are getting into speedrunning, I highly recommend finding the Pokemon Speedruns Discord, linked from any of the game pages on speedrun.com, and we can help you out there. And also linked now in the chat by Amoeba with the clutch Discord command.
The hotbot. Also consider joining we should have had the Discord link to the Red Tawny Discord.
There is a wonderful Friends with Red Race Discord.
That is where the Red Tournament race that was just announced very kindly by Alan will be held. It's a good place for strats as well. There's a lot of like alternative strats and very specifically race strats that appear that it's good things to know. But yeah, I feel like I lost track of where we were, but thank you, Head Bob, for the link to the Friends with Red Race Discord. What were we saying, Ty?
We were talking about the start of the marathon with the Black Four-Way race, which then after the great showings from Sinstar, Crafted, Skoa, and Cosmo was followed up by Quo's Stadium Gym Leader Castle Round 1 run. Were you able to watch that one?
I was not.
Neither was
missed
I.
most of that. That is a shame, but I know Quo is a talented runner, known for his snap domination, so I don't doubt that it went very well.
Just a second.
Bless you, my friend.
Gotta get that sneeze out. Anyway, going on to Iron, we had the Pocket Gaiden run, and then Casual Poke Player with a little bit of an audio issue through some of that Pokemon Green run. Casual didn't have his mic audio on his stream for the first half of the run, but he did end up with a great little showing of any % no select glitches.
I wanted to see that because that category is almost his baby, isn't it? He basically created the idea of that category.
Yeah, that's
just routed it all.
Total invention from CPP for the category extensions of Pokemon Red, which has that quirk with the green release that only exists in Japan and has some unique glitches.
Was that? I feel like the task block came pretty soon after that.
Oh, that's the whole next day.
No? Oh, blimey. There's so much good content, Ty.
Yes.
It all merges into one.
Yep, you're confused because CPP also did Crystal Clear right after the task block.
That's it.
Then
that is exactly it.
We did have Rubber Ducky Assassin's Pokemon Rumble All Stages No Passwords run right after CPP.
RDA is the Rumble champion. You could not ask for a better person. You could throw any category at that man and he will show you the best run going.
Exactly. And we saw Pokehero do Pokemon Battle Revolution any % round 1, which I think went quite well from what I remember.
Yeah, Pokehero, I feel like, was it Pokehero that recently beat like the second oldest PSR record?
Yeah.
Like in existence?
Yeah, some of those
Battle Revolution
runs not very often competed for. There was a very ancient record from Pokehero. So that was a great one also to watch in the marathon. It was not a world record in the marathon, but it was a great run nonetheless.
I mean, we're never going to get a world record in a marathon. Like, very, very unlikely to happen. You've got to take race strats into account.
For sure. Especially in Pokemon. We then had, in the dead of the night, CC Neverenders Pokemon Snap any % run, which I was not able to watch and was very, very upset by not being able to watch that because it is CC Neverender, the Speed Docs legend, and the also really progenitor a lot of the like investigation into actual strategy for speedrunning Pokemon Snap,
Hmm.
and not just treating it as a meme like a lot of people do. So I
The
really
main organizer behind the tournament last year as well.
yes, there was a Snap
So,
tourney from CC Neverender, so really appreciate CC, and that was awesome. I do know, however, I was there with Wartab's Pokemon Moon Alt Main 2 Cannon run, which I think went a bit long from the estimate.
well, blimey, it's Gen 7, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's the thing is like 1% over on Gen 7 is a lot of time compared to 1% over on any
oh
other
yes.
category. So you almost can't blame him for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame him for it. He's gonna hate me, but he already hates me anyway, so it's fine. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we'll move
I
on
can't
from
get
the.
I can't give him. It'd be completely hypocritical to give him any hell for it, but I'm totally gonna.
It was still great to see the Pokemon Moon game shown in the marathon and another showing of the category extensions, which
Yeah, Wartab
then,
is a big lover of Gen 7, so it's good to see that get in.
yeah. And then we had the wonderful Etiquette and Kerbis showing of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee co op diploma, where we got to see for the first time on a single stream the all golden two diplomas picture. I know there was a great tweet from Etiquette. I'm just gonna throw that in the chat if I can find it here a second. With the
While you're looking for that tweet, this is a good segue to mention we should definitely give some big love, big attention to Retro Tato and Orbit, who were our layout designers for the entire marathon. These layouts look peachy.
absolutely
The
fire.
color scheme is gorgeous. Oh, actually, we should mention Wartab. The bar at the bottom of the screen was Wartab's devising, the nice little scrolling text.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Wartab threw in a last minute contribution. It's a program called Node CG you can use to make these layouts dynamically if you're good with programming, and Wartab certainly is.
oh, but yeah, the co-op diploma race is so nice to see because that's something not just etiquette, but the whole or good parts of the Let's Go community have been pushing towards being, taken as a serious run, not just a fun little side thing for people to do. It's got a lot of routing. It's competitive and co-op at the same time, which is a rare thing for a speedrun now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really nice to see, and it was great that it was a really good showing from both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a pincer trolled them. I caught the latter half of this run. I came in after the pincer trolling.
Yeah, there is a very rare encounter you have to find with Pinsir, but that is only a small difficulty with the length of all of the catches.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
it was
wonderful
good to
little
see.
Let's Go community with the diploma runs. I love to see that.
There's another category extensions as well. Although
Exactly.
it'll be main some point soon.
Then
IMO should be.
after the co-op diploma run, we had Amoeba, the outro show host himself, doing Pokemon Emerald any percent, which was intended to be a little bit easier due to having multiple people grinding out the 1 in 32 chance for the glitch to work over and over again.
The
But we did get to
yeah the
see most of the route run, and we did get in the end some commentary from the Tasser Merp, who was able to fill in a lot of the gaps in knowledge we had talking about Pokemon Emerald any percent.
Yeah, I actually, I think I PM'd all of the commentators for that one, but I'm going to say it out to the people in general. The commentators that joined me in that run really saved a lot of that. Like that could have been far worse than it was, and the good banter and keeping things light it made it really enjoyable for me, and I think it came across better for the stream as well.
For sure.
But yeah, the estimate there was really in mind for two people to do it because we had a good chance that one of us would hit it in that time. So it was unfortunate that it was just me, and then it was unlucky that it didn't happen. But yeah, it was Merp's commentary was amazing. Just the fact that Merp is basically the creator of the modern route in that category. So it
Exactly.
was great to have her on commentary.
Then we saw Sparkle Lantern, who I created a bit of copy pasta.
Shredded the marathon.
Ended up shredding the marathon a bit there.
That's it.
I freaking love Sparkle Lantern and Etchy and that whole niche of the community. We had Shiro, Merp, and TiKevin on the commentary for Amoeba's Emerald Any Percent, and then Sparkle did Pokemon Fire Red E4 Round 2 run. E4 Round 2 being probably the most popular category
There it is.
that we've had in Pokemon speedrunning.
And my chat experience is ruined. Yeah, it's Sparkle Lantern. I'm so glad that he submitted that run. He's a relatively new face to PSR.
Very new.
But already, it's weird because he's already an established face now. Everybody knows Sparkle. Everybody knows him because he runs what is arguably the most pure Pokemon speedrun.
Yep.
I love Round 2.
Yep. It's really like Let's Go was the only game comparable to it now, with having to do catches mixed in with all the routing to beat the battles. It's just one of the favorite Pokemon speedruns out there, and Let's Go is just starting to compete with it for that sort of like with the co-op diploma run, having that experience of being able to catch a bunch of Pokemon while doing a speedrun.
Yep.
Let's Go, but you die every 5 seconds. It's true. Fire Red Leaf Green is notoriously dangerous. And after Sparkle Lantern, we did see the tasks of Pokemon Red Any Percent and Catch 'em All. Any Percent being a creation between Alyosha, Mr. Wint, and casual poke player in the task community. The Any Percent run showed off the fastest known first and second parts before and after the hard reset, down to the exact cycle. There's been a bit of a war followed now in the Red Any Percent scene, where it's so optimized we can no longer just fight over frames, but individual clock cycles with different instructions throwing off the length of the movie. So CPP came in there really and ended up with Alyosha and Thunderax also competing in that breakdown of cycle counts. It's been wonderful, and I loved playing it back on console with the fastest times. And then we got to see the debut of the Catch 'em All speedrun tasks using save corruption to do it in only 10 minutes with the new Faster Than Lucky strategy with some meta acronyms. Faster Than Lucky meaning Lucky Wins Again being the old acronym for the previous route, so we now have Faster Than Lucky Wins Again.
Tasses were the bits another set of runs that I missed as well that I need to go back and watch. Especially knowing having learned what I learned from Smurfy's Catch 'em All run, I'm interested to see FTL in action, especially in a TAS.
Yeah, it looks really cool in the TAS.
Definitely going to go back and watch that. Reminder, folks, if you want to watch any of the runs that we're talking about that we've covered in the last 3 days, 72 hours, they will all be uploaded to YouTube in time. Recommend following the PSR Twitter account because it will all be tweeted out. And if the past 5 marathons have been any clue, they will all be tweeted out exactly the same time when they all go live, and your Twitter will get very spammed in a single day. It's only once, and then you get to know that they're all up there. So definitely go follow. If I type !Twitter, is it going to be sensible? Oh, look at that. Go follow that one. You should definitely bully me. Wow. I definitely deserve it.
Wow.
But yeah.
I'm seeing more spam on Twitter of how amazing the end of that yellow race was.
It was, yeah. I'm still reeling. It was such a good finish.
We then had a casual poke player doing Pokemon Crystal Clear, 80% glitchless in 55 minutes. And
I had good things about that. I didn't see it.
Same. I had to sleep right after finishing some of my stuff. And Head Bob did Pokemon Red++, And that one being the ROM hack of Pokemon Red with the Gen 2 sprites. And it has a lot of other little cleanups to the code, so it's a bit faster than your usual Pokemon Red run. It was very cool to see some of that from Headbob.
I love the Red Plus Plus run.
Yeah.
Really, really love it. I've actually seen that's like the only one I'd already seen, but I still want to go and watch.
Yeah, that's a really cool ROM hack.
I just like running indoors. You seen how fast you can bike in that game?
It's
Mental.
incredible.
Where did we go from there, Ty?
We saw JT Magic Man do Pokemon Soul Silver any percent glitchless. JT had a crash in the middle of his Pokemon Soul Silver run and lost 35 minutes, but was able to recover and finish the run anyway.
And yet only finished 10 minutes over estimate, which for a 35-minute crash is excellent. And JT stepped in late, covered a gap in the schedule, didn't know he was even going to be doing this run in the same amount of time that everybody else did. What a champion.
Yep. I think I remember from the intro show talking about JT getting a lot of practicing on Twitch just before the marathon, so I was really excited to see.
That man's been grinding Heart Gold, Soul Silver pretty hard recently anyway. So, he's in chat. Wow. I know I'm up at strange times if JT Magic Man is alive, because this man lives literally the opposite side of the world to me.
After JT, we saw Cruel's Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time speedrun. I had not watched that game before at all. That game is really freaking weird. There's like, it does not lie when it says Explorers of Time. There's like all sorts of crazy time paradoxes and time gears.
The story is so good. I love that Cruel like lent into the story. Like
Yeah.
he was, there was a bit where he's like, right, there's a cutscene coming up, and I'm not going to talk through it, so we can all enjoy the moment because it gets really emotional in that game.
Yeah, it's
Time, Sky, Darkness, and Sky are all brilliant games anyway. And
it's
he was our PB of the marathon.
Yeah, he did get the PB of the Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time run using any percent with Wondermail. We then saw at 12:05 Etchy versus Garfield versus Retrotato on the Sword Shield any percent 3-way race. And I'll let you talk about that one, Amoeba.
That one, chat. There was a lot of people in chat that clearly hadn't seen the Candy Floss thing yet, and we're going, I don't really understand what Candy Floss means, but it was entertaining to see people like realize that we've got three completely different ideas, but they're all competitive. They can all race each other, and there was a lot of back and forth. Like early on, Retro kind of took a fall behind because he had to go and pick up Whimsicott, it's like Candy Floss, whatever it's called. And then like the consistency of his route eventually edged him ahead of Etchy and Garth, who obviously were also both doing completely different routes of their own, because Etchy was using Inteleon and Garfield was using Arcanine into Excadrill. And yeah, it was just very interesting to watch, especially for someone that's not played Gen 8 before or really watched a lot of runs. I kind of went into it fairly new, other than knowing what the Pokemon were going to be.
So for the race winners, we ended up having Sinstar, Retrotato, and Wanley Ways.
Wanley, yep.
Then after the Sword Shield race, any percent race, we did get to see the DLC from Nox Canary. After the dig from GDQ playing the DLC during the marathon.
Yeah,
Come on, GDQ.
There were some. There weren't mean words, but there were some disgruntled words in the committee chat when GDQ decided to go live on a Saturday with a run that we had on a Sunday. And it was like, okay. And also we have literally the world record holder for that category on the committee. And he went, how come I've never heard of this when it went live?
Yeah, that was
Not quite that harsh, casual, but yeah, disgruntled.
Yeah, I would not say that. It was just a clear miscommunication. There was a lack of or miss of communication there, and unfortunate.
Well, I think Nox brought some absolute personality. Another person that came in for his very first marathon run ever, not just PSR marathon run ever, and the man just took the stream by storm.
Oh yeah,
people loved him. And I think he did a very good job with his run.
And we do appreciate the exposure to the PSR community from GDQ in any event.
Oh, yeah.
Then after Nox Canary showed off the DLC, we did get to see G. Hines doing his any percent with Aber run of Pokemon Sapphire, which did not have too many issues. He hit his Kyogre Manip, I remember watching, and he only died once to Flannery, I think, with
Yeah.
had a bit of an issue on Torkoal. So that was actually a beautiful run to watch from G Hines. Very clean
For
Sapphire run.
yeah, for Sapphire, it was astoundingly clean. You'll take one Flannery and nothing else. First try Kyogre Manip is insane. So, especially with marathon stress, it was a very impressive run.
Yeah, and I loved the commentary from Spitfire. Spitfire really meshed well with G Hines talking about some of the old days of Sapphire, and Hines still pulling out a great modern run.
That entire run was almost a blast from the past because it's a very 2014-esque run with two 2014 runners doing it, but obviously a lot more updated with all of the knowledge that we have in 2020 now. So I was very impressed.
And then after Hines Sapphire run, we had the yellow race we just watched, and we've already talked about in the outro show. Juan did win that with the slow and steady safe strats, making sure he finished cleanly with the 2:00:19. And I just did want to say also about that, when I've done estimates for yellow races, I've often put it at a 2:05, and there's been debate over whether it should be a 2:00 these days with all the improvements we made. The top runners of the race hitting that 2:00 mark, so maybe we'll see more 2-hour yellow race estimates in the future with the cleanup of strategy in Pokemon Yellow.
That still feels extremely tight. I don't really feel like Huanli really took a step wrong apart from a missed YOLO ball.
Yeah.
Otherwise, his run was clean. I feel like 2:00 is looking quite tight.
Yeah, 2 hours might still be a little bit tight there. That 2:05, it really, 3 of the racers hit that with only a Pokeguy with that lack of saving at all in the E4. Probably can get under 2:05 if you have a couple saves there.
Yeah, but that's something worth mentioning for all of the races that we had. The black race, the Sword Shield, and the yellow. Very, very close finishes amongst everybody. And there was no, we didn't have to silently yank somebody off the end of the run.
Yeah,
because they were trailing so far behind. Everybody kept it close, and it's a nice thing to see in the modern age of PSR because a lot of the time races were set up so that somebody would get to the end of the run in a reasonable time, and it didn't really matter which one. And that was kind of the idea for the race that we had for Emerald NE%, but most of your main categories now are consistent enough. We're seeing consistent marathon strats. We're seeing race metas develop as well, which is always a good thing for a marathon run.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very good to see.
There was an entire separate meta we got to see in that race that you would never see in the leaderboard runs.
Yep. And you're going to see more in things like Red as well with the Red Tournament 2020 coming up. The amount of rerouting that was done last year in the 2019 tournament just for race strats that eventually transferred into actual RTA attempt rerouting as well. So I'm excited to see where the Friends with Red Race Discord group go with this tournament. I know the format is staying pretty similar to last year's, but with a bit more of a streamlined setup.
And with so many runs in those tournaments, you get to see a lot of the more out of the box, having to play around things like Gen 1 misses because there's so many runs. You get really crazy things happening that you get to play around.
It's I like seeing the personality some people bring, or everybody brings,
to
their own racing style. You can really see just in the way that people play. Like, in that yellow race, Pokeguy just not saving for Elite Four. It's very Pokeguy. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it is Pokeguy to a T. And it's nice seeing that. People will weigh up risks. Some people will play it risky, play it safer. Some people prefer a certain, existing race strat, even if it's not the most optimized, because that's how they've done it for years. Everybody's got their own history in the run, and it always comes out in the races. And similarly for commentary as well. I love the fact that the Red Tourney last year was basically open for anybody to commentate. You heard commentary from all corners of the globe.
I think I even
all facets
commentated
of
some of the red runs.
Yeah, it was completely open to anybody. There was so many people commentating. It was great to hear. It'll be a good community event. And if you're out there thinking, I would like to join in on this, but I don't know how to run red, do it anyway. There is literally over a month before races even start, and it is completely open to anybody of any skill level. Even if you go out on round one, you will enjoy the experience, I promise you, because I did it last year and I hadn't run red for 5 years at that point. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, I didn't run in the tournament, but I ran in the 20th anniversary races that were done, and I loved doing that. That was really fun.
Yeah.
So thank you for everybody for sticking around for the outro show. We will be back someday with more PSR marathon.
There will definitely be a 2021 PSRM.
And
Have been talks of a winter 2020.
potentially some category extensions marathon.
Maybe.
And
do
we
want to
will have
say
to
as well.
also watch the podcast once a month
Yeah.
on the first Saturday of the month.
Yeah. First Saturday of the month, back on this channel, the podcast will be covering PSR news and new runs for all your favorite games. Everything. We do category extensions, we do side games, the whole lot. I do want to say before we wrap it up properly, a big thank you, basically to everybody, to the viewers, to the runners, to the people in the committee behind this marathon that silently put this together. There's some names that you may not even recognize that have done things like hosting the marathon while while the runs are being done. People running the Twitter account. Ty, you took on almost basically the leadership role for a lot of this, keeping
Indeed.
everything
Me and
ticking over.
DeBomb co-organizing this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, big
yeah,
thanks
this
to
is
everybody who worked on the layouts, Retro and Orbit, and all of the other hosts. We had Ranger Squid. You had Chrissy helping out on the layouts. We had Packle, Diego Lazor with the Spanish restream.
yeah.
We didn't
meant
even
to.
freaking mention the Spanish
I
restream.
took a mental note about 3 times to remember to mention it. But yeah, shout outs to the Spanish restream guys. I'm going to put the link in there one more time. A full restream in a completely other language. So yeah, they're sat there right now trying to translate the bollocks that is falling out of my mouth, which is amazing.
And they had great viewership from what I saw. There were like 80 viewers at one time when I popped in there.
Yep, it is great to see. It's just nice that the community comes together. You know, everybody does their part. If you're a runner, if you're a racer, even if you're a viewer and you're a chatter, it's all just support for and a celebration of everything that PSR does. And if I keeping soppy, I'm gonna cry. So let's wrap this up, Amoeba. Come on.
Thank you, everybody. We will see you guys next time.